Good day, I'm Theodore Henry and this is your JIS News for Monday, April 28, 2025. 418 homes are now under construction at the Brookside Estate housing development in Spot Valley, St. James. Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness broke ground on Friday for the scheme, which will comprise 240 one-bedroom and 178 two-bedroom units. The project is being undertaken by the National Housing Trust under its Guaranteed Purchase Program.
This moment marks more than the start of construction. It signifies our continued commitment to making the dream of home ownership a reality for thousands of Jamaicans. Brookside Estate represents the government's firm belief that every Jamaican family, regardless of income, regardless of social status, deserves access to safe, affordable, and modern housing.
Situated on over 51 acres of land, Brookside Estate is strategically positioned between the towns of Montego Bay and Falmouth and in proximity to major employment centers. The Prime Minister points out that the project will include critical infrastructure such as roads with sidewalks, stormwater drainage, street lighting, water distribution, and a central sewage treatment plant connected to an upgraded National Water Commission system. There will also be green spaces, communal areas, and recreational facilities to foster community cohesion and family well-being. Thousands of people who travel through or do business in Halfway Tree daily now have access to free high-speed internet. On Friday, the Universal Service Fund, USF, launched its latest public Wi-Fi hotspot inside the Halfway Tree Transport Center. The service was established under USF's Connect Jamaica program, which aims to install free Wi-Fi in parks, towns, and heavily trafficked roadways across the country. Telecommunications Minister Darrell Vaz says the Halfway Tree Wi-Fi coverage is the largest to date, spanning 3 constituencies: St. Andrew Southeastern, St. Andrew Northeastern, and St. Andrew East Central.
Up to 1,000 people can use this public Wi-Fi at the same time. So that is by far the largest rollout that we have had, and it is because of the amount of people that traverse this area on a daily basis.
Chief Executive Officer of the USF, Charlton McFarlane, says the launch at Halfway Tree aligns with the USF's broader mission to expand internet access in public spaces.
We are not just here because we are launching a Wi-Fi network. Why we are here is because we are launching opportunities, because that is what Connect Jamaica public Wi-Fi is really all about. Internet access is no longer a luxury, and the USF recognizes that, because internet access in 2025 is a necessity.
The Judicial Services Commission, JSC, is to consider the use of psychometric tests and other proposals as it moves to reform the recruitment of judges in Jamaica. Chief Justice Brian Sykes says it is critical for the process to be strengthened, given that once a judge is appointed, barring misbehavior or severe ill health, it is almost impossible to remove him or her. This will be one of the main matters under review when the Judicial Services Commission hosts its very first retreat soon to consider recommendations from the 2007 report of the Jamaican Justice System Reform Task Force led by Professor Barish Evans. That report had pointed to the existing system for the appointment of judges at all levels of the judiciary being inadequate and not transparent enough. Among measures to address this, the Chief Justice says the Commission, which he chairs, will consider the use of psychometric evaluation, which has become almost a standard recruiting tool for other important areas of national life.
And so you're looking at things such as attitudes to our authority, willingness to work in teams, willingness to abide by legitimate instructions in terms of the administration of the court, because the court as an institution has to have rules by which it operates without compromising the ability of the judge to decide cases as they understand the law and the evidence. So those are things now that the Commission will be looking at in order to strengthen the recruitment process.
A psychometric test is an assessment used by employers to measure a candidate's cognitive ability, personality, or work behavior. The Chief Justice points out that the judiciary has already shifted away from a heavy reliance on seniority in appointing judges, with this now serving as a tiebreaker when the consideration is between two judges that are equally qualified. A comprehensive way forward is to be decided on at the JSC's upcoming retreat.
So at the end of that, of the retreat, the expectation is that we will have a detailed recruitment methodology, processes clearly outlined, the criteria for selection clearly articulated, so that when persons are seeking to apply for judicial office, they will know exactly what is expected of them and how the process will be conducted.
The Chief Justice was speaking at a recent ceremony at King's House where two members of the judiciary were sworn in to high office for the Easter term. Tracy Ann Johnson was appointed to act as puisne judge, and Christine McNeil will serve as master in chambers from April 28 to July 31. Students in grades 1 to 3 at the primary level will soon benefit from at least 2 hours of scheduled reading each week. This is being done as part of a major push to strengthen literacy in schools. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Education, Dr. Kassan Troop, made the disclosure during a recent press briefing held by the Education Transformation Oversight Committee, ETOC, at the UWI regional headquarters in St. Andrew. She explains that reading will now be treated as a formal subject, with all teachers required to teach it.
So we will be rolling out a massive training program in this quarter to build the skill set of our teachers and to retool them to deliver this. We'll be focusing on literacy, reading for fluency, reading for vocabulary building, and we will be looking at reading for enjoyment and word recognition.
At the upper primary level, students will benefit from targeted assessments and enhanced special education services. In addition, schools will receive resources tailored to their specific needs, replacing the previous one-size-fits-all approach with a more strategic, needs-based system. Education Minister Senator Dr. Daynard Morris-Dixon says the move emphasizes that literacy and numeracy are foundational to academic success.
I've also spoken a lot about literacy and literacy being central. The foundation is key, literacy and numeracy. And so I'm very happy that the ministry has heard and the ministry is now timetabling reading.
And finally, Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness is reiterating the government's support for the popularization of chess across the island as another avenue through which Jamaicans can pursue and achieve greatness. The government invested an initial $40 million last year to support the undertaking of the Grandmaster in 10 initiative by the Jamaica Chess Federation. As a former competitive chess player, the Prime Minister says the path to achieving Jamaica's first chess Grandmaster within 10 years lies in supporting the infrastructure for young talent to excel.
We're going to create the superstructure to ensure that the talent we discover and support, that they are facilitated, that the connections are made so that they get the exposure, because that's a critical part of it. But more importantly, that you know that your government and your country values your effort.
Dr. Holness was speaking at a recent meet and greet event put on by the Federation for Jamaican-American chess Grandmaster Maurice Ashley and Hungarian chess Grandmaster Judith Polgar.
The young people who are looking to become Grandmasters, and guess what? It's going to happen. Governments rarely support chess around the world. Jamaica has decided to. I can tell you right now, if this program had existed 10, 15 years ago, we would have already had Grandmasters. There's no if anymore. It's real. People, it's real. It is happening. It is present. It is current. And it is our responsibility as leaders to make our young people believe in themselves and become champions.
And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Theodore Henry. Thanks for watching.